Good morning. Thank you for having me.
In what way do you think that New Zealanders are fat-phobic?
Well, I think what we find when we look at it across the world is that most cultures, especially Western cultures, are very fat-phobic. We are fearful of fat and oftentimes even hateful of fat.
But that's, in essence, what we're told, isn't it, by doctors and medical professionals, that in order to live a long and healthy life, we need to keep the kilos down.
It is definitely what we're told. We accept a range of diversity in terms of heights and hair colors and skin colors, but for some reason when it comes to body size, we're very specific that there are only certain sizes that you are supposed to be or allowed to be.
That's because we don't want you to die, you fat fuck.
But that's sort of more perhaps an issue of what's socially supposedly accepted in terms of a person's size or a person's figure, particularly with women. There is very much a health issue, though, that is attached to it as well. Would you accept that?
What I understand from the literature that I've looked at, Rachel, is that except at statistical extremes, weight is not a good predictor of health. I think that if we want to talk about health, we can talk about health, and I think it is important, but I don't think weight is a good proxy to do that.
Okay, let's talk about how you think that overweight people suffer discrimination here. In what ways do they?
Well, I think that the ways that fat people experience with prejudice and discrimination are quite varied across populations and across even individual fat people, maybe across their lifetimes. One thing that is of note is that it's not illegal to discriminate against people based on their size. So it's a legal form of discrimination.
Okay, if we do, though, accept overweight as being a condition that's acceptable, the real implications are there for health issues, though, because when you accept something, that's almost to say that it's okay. Now, I accept that it's okay to carry a few extra kilos, but our doctors will always tell us, and our health professionals will say, you can't. The implications of, as they say, heart attack, fat, the implications on cholesterol levels are vast. So if you accept that someone is overweight and that's okay, then aren't you also accepting that, there are going to be some very real health implications here as well?
Well, I think that there's actually not as strong of consensus about the relationship between being overweight and being unhealthy as most people tend to think that there is. But I think for me, it's actually a larger social justice issue. So even if we accept that being fat is the worst thing in the world, which I definitely wouldn't agree with, I think we should still say that fat people deserve the same rights and dignity as non-fat people.
Why do you think they don't receive that? In what ways don't they receive the same rights and the same dignity?
I think that they currently don't for a few reasons, partly because we live in a fat-phobic culture.
Do you mean rape culture?
This is a culture that often talks about getting rid of fat people and talks about solving the obesity epidemic. And when we make comments like that, they're talking about getting rid of me, getting rid of someone like me.
They are talking about getting rid of your weight.
So I think that there's a lot of things that we fear about fat. I think we associate a lot of negative connotations with the word. I know that if I'm often in mixed company and I call myself fat, people around me will panic. And they'll be quick to assure me, no, you're not fat, which is ridiculous because I am. What they're trying to say, though, is I'm not the negative connotations they associate with the word. They don't think of me as lazy or undisciplined or stupid or ugly.
Blah, 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 blah.
My wife, Kelly, is a freaky eater.
34-year-old Kelly eats nothing but cheesy potatoes, morning, noon, and night.
I love cheese and potatoes. It's ooey gooey and just yum, yum, yummy.
Each and every day, Kelly eats a minimum of 8 potatoes and 4 cups of cheese, amounting to a whopping 8,000 calories and 176 grams of fat a day.
Can I get 3 orders of
number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
Well, I want you to try this because it's a green vegetable. Every time I've tried to cook her a little something extra, she just refuses. Just try a little taste.
I can't.
Come here, baby. It's okay.
Oh, that's stunning. You rock. You rock. Show me what you got, girlfriend. You rock.
I love the word fat. If you say I'm fat, I'm not offended by that. Fat to me is a description. I'm proud to be fat.
Julianne Wojtaszek has come a long way. Overweight since childhood, she remembers being told to cover her body starting at age 8.
You're fat, you do not let that show. Hide it, hide it, hide it.
But a few years ago, she hooked up with this group, the National Association
of Fat Fucking Whales.
Members here are encouraged to look in the mirror and embrace what they see. At first,
it was so uncomfortable. And 6 months later, I'm like, do.
Instead of weigh-ins, NAFA has yay-ins.
I yay ravishing.
I am halfway between sexy and lovely.
Oh, I yay sexy.
Jeanette DePatty is the group's fitness advisor. After embracing her size, she became a fitness instructor.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Her video is called The Fat Chick Works Out. Why the name?
To call out what people are thinking, right? They're thinking, wow, that exercise instructor is fat. Well, yeah, I am.
But she decided not to let it stop her.
I had been feeling very much like my life couldn't start until I reached a certain size. And then one day I realized I might never reach that magic number. I might live to be 80 and never get there. And how awful would it be to never start my life? That would be so sad.
NAFA doesn't allow diet talk at its meetings. They believe
in French fries and burgers with cheese.
I think by making health and weight the same thing and by confusing those two, we're damaging everybody because fat people are then the enemy. And then people are told they're healthy no matter what, which we know isn't the case.
Aw, you look so cute.
NAFA members are encouraged to go as public as possible. They glam it up at photo sessions. They do ballet, and there's even a belly dancing troupe.
I don't limit myself. I don't say just because I'm fat, I can't dance. Well, I can. I may not have good rhythm.
Well, duh.
But I can dance.
The next big event for NAFA, some head-turning fun in the sun.
Our group's going to get together. We're going to go take back the beach, have a great day on the beach, and probably get a lot of people to give us second glances, but that's good because we're challenging beauty ideals and they need to be challenged.
I think one of the prevailing things that are happening here is that what I'm hearing is this intense sort of discussion around self-hatred and when you're in a bigger body. And I wanted to ask people, like down the front there, you who's 20, is your life better? Are you happier? Is everything better now that you're slightly smaller than you were before? I mean, I think one of the things
let's get an answer to the question. Are you?
Absolutely. And I'm not a little bit smaller, I'm a lot smaller. And I did do research into everything. I can still have kids, and that may not have happened if I had stayed the size I was. Like, my question to you is, can you honestly say that you are 100% happy and healthy? Like, you have no medical conditions whatsoever, you have no problems at all with your health?
No. The question's been asked. What's the answer?
I think it's really interesting that I feel like I need to justify my existence in this realm.
No, but hang on a minute. You asked her to justify her decision.
I asked
she's
her if she was happy. I didn't ask her to justify what her health issues now or if there is any.
But have you got any health issues?
No, I'm perfectly happy.
I'd love to know, like, what do you see as healthy with eating?
Yeah, it's interesting that you've just assumed that I eat bad food because of
my
my size.
I'd love to know, because if you're really healthy, do you have any joint issues, or so you're completely...
I swim 2.5 kilometres a day.
That's 'cause you are a fat whale.
I walk, I exercise all the time. I am in a synchronized swimming team, and I really resent the fact that I have to actually justify my existence and my ability to live in the world in a bigger body in a way that I'm
But we're all
happy
talking
with.
about health tonight. I mean, the whole show is about weight and health.
No,
So
what
it's
we've
not
been
an
talking about
unreasonable.
is surgery, and we haven't actually talked about the possibility that you can actually live in your life.
No, but we
in
have.
this body.
We have talked about that. But all I'm saying is that a question to anyone about what they eat in the context of this program, anyone in this room, is perfectly reasonable, I think.
But it's interesting that they've only been directed at fat people.
No. It's not about being fat or not being fat. It's about what everybody eats. Well, it's about what everybody eats and what health is. What health is.
But our
No, I'm asking. No. I'm not conflating anything. I'm saying I think it's perfectly reasonable in the context of a discussion where you've got research that suggests that people who are overweight and people who are obese can be more prone to particular health problems. I think it's quite reasonable in that context when we're talking about diet, we're talking about losing weight, gaining weight, whether people are happy.
This, to me, is an issue. And if we put the armrest down, this is a challenge. Now, you say, Michael, that people that are large should buy more than one seat.
Correct.
All right. And you guys think this is unreasonable to expect you to fit in comfortably, correct?
Yes.
Will you come sit in this seat? Right here? Okay.
Ooh, that's really tight.
Yeah, see, that's going to be really uncomfortable.
This was even tighter than the one I flew out here on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And if you and I are next to each other,
then I got to go like this to get away from your shoulders.
we got a real problem, girl, or we're going to need to get to know each other really well.
Intimate.
Particularly if we're headed for Tokyo.
Oh, boy.
or somewhere. Now, but what is the answer for this? This is what people have built. This is a problem.
Look at this. Can you tell me that this is safe and comfortable for me to sit like this? And then I have to have seatbelt extenders to get this seatbelt fastened to this seatbelt. And the more pieces you put in there, the less safe it becomes. It's not comfortable. This is poking in my back. This thing here is poking in my hip.
Then why did you become fat, you whale?
It's not comfortable. And it's not safe.
Final comment.
I want to agree with you that we have to take personal responsibility, which means we have to make healthful life decisions forever, and we have to read labels, and that means industry has to be truthful about what's in the food and the risk associated with the food. Let's make the environment healthy so we can make healthier choices, and guess what? We owe it to children to have a chance to grow up healthy, which means pre-pregnancy to age 5. Let's get that generation healthy.
I believe that we come in all sizes. Obviously, we can see that by the audience here. We need to respect one another and get over this obsession with insisting that everybody needs to be the same size. We don't all need to be the same size. Thin does not equal health, and fat does not equal disease. I'm 62 years old.
You won't make it 63.
I'm not on any medication. I'm not saying that everything is perfect in my life, but I've been fat all my life, and I've made it to 62 without having to be on any medications or any things. I'm not dying because of my fat.
All right, 30 seconds.
Again, we are not hating fat people, we hate fat behavior. And everybody out there, if you are large, okay, and you want to do something about it and feel good and feel sexy, there's nothing wrong with feeling sexy and being healthy. We will help you, and that's the thing. You can set yourself free. You are making the choice to stay large.
All right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just kind of boggling. I want a shirt that says no jerks.
You're using your 30 seconds.
Personal attack again.
Sure.
Fine.
Everyone has a different body. That's okay. It is your body, and the choices that you make for it are the ones that are important. Make choices that are healthful for you.
True gangsters. All right.